Hey guys, and welcome back to Trekyards or Fleetyards in this case. I got it. I'm Captain Foley.
I am Commander Cockins, and we're looking at the last week release. Well, no, not even a week because they released 2 in 7 days. Cool.
Yes.
I love that they said it's coming in 2018. It is, yes, the last day, and then we're going to do two in a
Yes.
week.
Yes.
Orville episode 1, which is called Stuart,
It is called, where is it here? Jalora. The Jaloja.
which
Jaloja. That's it.
loosely translated to English is "I gotta pee."
I got to pee. Yeah.
So we didn't review this at the time because family, birthdays, everything under the sun. So we're doing, just like Orville, we're doing a few very quickly. So this is our look at episode 1. Your overall thoughts on Orville episode 1, Stuart?
Well, it was great to see it back for sure, but I was a little underwhelmed by having it be the season opener. It was kind of just like a game of catch up with the characters where they've, kind of getting reacquainted with them and stuff. So I was a little underwhelmed. I expected something a little more spectacular for first episode. I do know that they switched some episodes around though last minute.
Yeah. This was episode 3. Originally.
Okay. Yeah, because that new character comes on. I forget her name offhand now, but
Yeah, I don't remember it.
and then she's not in episode 2. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it was good. It still maintained that Orville level of quality. I like the characterization and the character building, and I think it was a great episode. It was a fair episode, just not a good season opener. I don't think.
And we'll starting the year with Orville, both Orville and Discovery, we're going to look at the good and the bad and judge each episode on its own merits. And so every time last year where we had both episodes in 1 week, we would say sometimes which was best out of the two, and it actually swapped between them sometimes because there are weak Orville episodes as well. For me, this wasn't a weak episode, but it was a episode of B plots. All B plots, no A plots, and nothing to grab hold of. The main plot line, which is set up very well, is kind of abandoned for most of it, and the payoff is very minimal. And there's some very odd pacing issues. I don't know if you noticed this, but they're going to help him pee, to allow Bortus, the alien race, he pees once a year. Boom, it's a ceremony. Boom, and they go to FTL. Brilliant. They drop out of FTL and go to the space station. Brilliant. And then we see them go at sublight for the rest of the episode, and just time passes, and if they're meant to actually show going somewhere, that was a very poor way of doing it, because it made me think, well, every time we saw cut to a different storyline, and they're not at warp, because we do see them with windows at faster than light. When they're not faster than light, I kept thinking, you know what they've done? They've pulled B stories from other episodes that they just quickly put together to make another episode, and so they had to just pick ones where it's very static, but you're meant to sense some emotion, and it's like every time they use all the stock footage in this episode. There's no new VFX apart from 2 shots, and they're great, but all the stock footage really stands out because it's just like constantly the same 9 shots, and it's always at sublight, even though they're trying to go somewhere. So it felt like a bit of a mishmash of disconnected pieces, but I think that was kind of what they made it out of. What do you think?
Well, I never noticed that, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
So as just a casual viewer, not a filmmaker, I didn't notice that. So, but I mean, I've only watched it honestly once. So
Me too.
Okay. I didn't notice that. So,
But now I've said it, does it make sense, do you think?
yes,
Or
absolutely.
even just the B plot stuff? Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, that. Yeah. And I got to say, for this whole going pee once a year thing, there's very little payoff for that. Sure, they yelled and they screamed and they did their thing, and then I was expecting some epic, like 7 streams of like green, fluorescent green pee or something, and I didn't even see anything.
See, the joke about this is that unlike Star Trek Discovery, when they show 2 dick Klingon P streams, this would be a funny place to have like 1 P stream like go up, and then one go down, and then like a third one go in the middle, and a fourth like that would be funny. And it's like, how does this even work? It's like, it just works. Don't worry about it. That would have been clever. And there's no. I mean, it's a beautiful Mount Seleia reference, is what it feels like. The whole ending.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's like, okay.
Yeah, there was no payoff for me.
Yeah.
I thought they missed a visual effect or something, because he's standing there and it's like there's nothing going on. It's like I had to rewind that one section, and I'm like,
Well,
there's nothing.
the whole episode is no real payoffs to anything. It's a lot of, I will say this episode is a excellent season 2 episode 6 mid-season relaxed episode. We love because we love all the characters, and it's a great, really good character piece. And not the most exciting character piece, but good character piece. Like I would give that the Alara episode, which is in a holodeck. That's a really good character piece, but with action. So you can do both types of character pieces. But this one is a mid-season chill episode where everyone gets some time. It's not a season opener because it feels like if you watch season 1 and season 2 back to back, it would be seamless. Especially since it literally follows on from the last scene of season 1. Brilliant. But as a season opener, it's such a weak season opener.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically there were 3 plot lines in this. There was Bortus peeing, which we just kind of covered the whole thing, sadly enough. And this is going to be a quick review. I mean, we'll talk more in depth and we can do a live on this. But the other one was the kid hanging out with this new friend who's a bit of a hoodlum. And then the parents, of course, the parents of each kid believe that their kid's the good kid and whatever. And then there was the Ed Mercer and what's her name? I can't remember. Ellie's new boyfriend in the school teacher, which is actually a great plot element. And I love that he took the shuttle, but I would have cloaked it first.
Yeah. Well, the problem is you've already just missed like 2 plot points. No, you missed 3 plot points. You said the 3. No, there's 3 more plot points, Stuart. There's the new officer
person coming on board.
Then that's 1 plot point because she's her own thing. Then there's the there's the pilot going after her and being taught how to be a ladies' man plot point. And
that's all the same plot point with her.
But but we know the officer will be more important later on. So that's her setup. That's her because she doesn't feature in that bit beyond there she is. You know what I mean? So she's not developed in those bits. And then there's a plot point with Alara going on a date. So there's actually 6 dull plot
It's a relationship
points.
Episode.
It is.
It's a soap opera.
And when you have... Okay, which ones do you think worked? Because there are lots of subplots, with the main plot being super underdone.
The Alora one worked.
Mm-hmm.
The new character coming on board didn't, because she didn't get enough time. It was kind of like a flash in the pan. I'm sure she'll play a more important role later. The Kelly and Ed plot really works, because that's going to be ongoing. It has been since the beginning.
Yeah. From the first scene to the first scene, that was the plot, that was the setup.
Yeah, the helmsman and the navigator plot, those are best friends. It was kind of forgotten by me, really.
But I do love the zipper jacket.
Yeah.
That was
always go one more zipper than you're comfortable
with. And the whole bar thing, she goes in for this bar scene and goes out after this girl, and she's like, yeah, all right. And then level 8, and it's just really difficult. And he asks, what's level 9? Oh, she's married. What's level 10? She's still married. And it's like, oh, that's so clever.
Yeah.
Real clever. That was well written, although again underwhelming.
Yes. Well, so was the whole Bortus Peen thing. That was underwhelming in my opinion. So that one didn't work for me.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean.
And then the kid one, which links into the teacher one, so at least they were interconnected.
Well, that one was kind of satisfying me on a personal level because I am a parent, and I have had kids where you think, you're getting accused of this, you probably didn't do it, and you find out you're actually right. It's like, because I know my kid can be a little bit of an asshole, but he's not in this case.
Yeah,
it was very gratifying that one.
And it also doubled down on the Isaac being sort of father figure. So every subplot actually built on every character.
Yes, absolutely.
But so I'll go through which. So you did think that one worked as well. Okay, so I didn't think the Bortus thing worked, although it was a great setup. It had no payoff.
Thank you. No pee off a cliff.
Yeah. The new officer I thought was a nice, gentle setup. That was enough, but she didn't have anything to add. The 2 buddies was good, although I think now John, the Lamar, he used to be more interesting. He seems to be they've swapped him into the engineer role, and now he's lost. We've announced episode 2, and again he was he wasn't given the panaz, I think, of season 1, which I think is a bit of a shame, because he was just playing it kind of flatly.
Yeah.
I was a bit confused about. See, again, I'm trying to scroll through the episode just to remember all the plot lines. The Alara thing was good, but I thought it was sort of pointless. It was just to give us something to do.
Well, we've heard rumors that her character is leaving, and that this is one of the reasons why, is because she's having relationship problems and stuff. So,
which seems like a weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Like she's literally stronger than that. You know, she opens jar of pickles on a daily basis. She just doesn't.
Yeah, she just doesn't feel like she fits in, and I can understand that.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, which is why I do love the first scene with Ed at the bar, and her saying hi, and we sort of. Well, there's a bit of chemistry there, sort of, although they totally toned it down a bit from season 1, which was actually actively thinking he was cute and stuff.
Yeah, because I always thought they were going to hook up eventually, those two, based on season 1, and I thought this is another step towards that. And it still might be, who knows. Although, about the bar scene, Jason Alexander did an awesome job as the bartender. At first I was like, who is that? And then it clicked who it was, and it's so well done. It's kind of like a Cheers meets 10 Forward kind of vibe. So I thought that was really well done.
I thought the Ed and Kelly was good, although it was the same scene 5 times. And I was like...
As is relationships in real life, though. The same conversations keep happening.
That doesn't mean it's well written, though. Like, the drive-by was great, although, again, there should have been an FTL. Why are they so statically trying to not go to Borta's homeworld? A teacher was great, although he was too chill. I love that he was, trying to be supportive, and she took that wrongly. That was great, but it made Kelly look a bit daft. You know what I mean? That undermined her by making his random go strong. Like, it sort of worked, but didn't quite click. And I think the worst one was the kid subplot, because it was so poorly and jankily written. It was the most by the book, stereotypical.
Everything's saved in editing. Even actors know that, so they're like, "This scene's not the best. They're gonna fix it, though, right?"
Actually, I think that's a good way of doing it. Because like the holographicing the booze, great. That's a nice little plot. Take that further. What else could you holograph? They were in the hologram room. Push that another step forward. Yeah, tell something with that. If you're trying to update, show us the kids, give us more character with them. But it didn't quite. For me, it's like I was cringing. I was like, this is a dreadful scene. The first one, it's just stereotypical mum, anti-mum. I don't like your friend. Oh, your mum's such an idiot. I don't like you, little boy. I don't like you, his friend. I don't like you either. Leave. Oh, mum, I hate you. It's like.
Again, speaking as a parent, I totally can relate, because some of your kids' friends, you meet them and you're like, well, you little bastard. In every 80s sitcom, yes. That's every 80s sitcom. At least one of the episodes is about that specific thing. Yes.
So I just kept thinking, this feels like the B plots, where they had so many strong A plots that they were like, shit, we need to give that A plot in episode 6 those extra 3 minutes. We'll move the B plot to this episode.
Yeah.
Go out of the way. Get the character stuff done first. But couldn't they have taken one of these subplots and given them to Bortus? Although the second episode is 100% Bortus, so we did get, we got 2 focus in a row, I guess. But, you know what I mean? Just B-plot the episode. You need an A-plot that's strong. And any of these could be the A-plots, ironically. The kids could be an A-plot if they did something really dodgy in the hologram room that's, real dodgy. And it's like, ho!
That affects the computers, like in the second episode. That would have worked.
But I guess they couldn't have done that because it'd be the second episode. Or Isaac could have taken it too far and put a chip in his brain to make him docile. And the mum's like, what are you doing? You can't do that. Oh, I was just trying to help you.
I kind of like that we got to see more of the Orville. We saw the bar. We saw a fine dining establishment, which is really neat. I mean, this is stuff we should have seen on Enterprise D. This is where I think the Star Trek feel really comes into this episode in those cases.
Yeah. I feel like I sound like I didn't like the episode. Like I didn't like it as what episode could be, but you're right. As a classic TNG, as a classic character piece, you showed that you don't need hardcore action to be like, we like all these characters. We do. We want to see them all do more. They all had something to do. They all progressed in their own way. I was certainly engaged the entire time. I was just like, I wish I was waiting for payoffs a bit more than I was getting.
And to be honest, I kind of forgot about the Bortus thing through most of the episode, because it's kind of like the beginning and the end. There's no real middle part for it. And like I said,
he
there
was
no payoff.
preparing. He was meditating and trying not to burst.
Yeah. Well, there's just no payoff.
What do you think about they left the Kelly Ed stuff? That he actually kind of helps the new guy.
That really endears him to our
Which character?
The audience. Ed, for sure. The way he handled that. This is how she's upset. This is how you deal with it. Makes him look like the best guy. And she doesn't. At the end, where he says, "Be a little bit stupid every day."
Yep.
And
women want a dope, bit of a dope. Yeah.
I love that. Then he gives him the advice, which he takes, and at the end of the episode, she's like, "You're out of the doghouse," kind of thing. You did the right thing, and she mentions the song that Ed mentioned to him. And I think she's going to find out later down the road that it was Ed that suggested those things to him to make it better, and it's going to mean a lot to her that he did that. So I thought it was really well done, to be honest.
He was a good guy. Real
he
good
was
guy.
A stand-up guy. Yeah.
Even the drive-by, but he was just dumb because he should have been cloaked.
Well,
that was funny though. And Dad called that. Dad was like, "Oh, he's not going to spy on them, is he?"
Yeah.
I was like, "No. Oh, he did." But then the teacher's like, "Oh, I've done it a few times myself," and Kelly's like, "What?" It's like, "What?"
I don't know about you, but I was kind of in the position of I don't want to like this new teacher guy, but I really did. Like the way they made his character, you can't not like the guy.
Yep.
So it's like, really? Now we got to like this guy too. It's always nice when the new boyfriend's kind of an asshole because you have a reason to be pissed. But anyway.
Well, they're all people. And I guess then closing then. What about Kelly's argument as a whole for them not being together? Because she sort of said that at the end of season 1, but they're in a real good place. We're all hopeful they'd get together, at least in some format. And then she's just like, "We'll work together. What if there's Bortus and me on a mission and only one? Would you send me or him?" And that was, and then she didn't. She closed herself off to whatever he was trying to say. Like, what do you think of that next chapter?
As she was giving that speech, I'm thinking of that TNG episode where Picard falls in love with that girl that plays piano.
Yeah.
And she almost dies in the one-away mission. That's immediately what crossed my mind, and how there's that conundrum of people under your command. Can you send them to their what you think might be their death? So I kind of agree with her, but at the same time, that's a silly reason not to have a relationship with somebody you actually really care about. You think you would find a way, either transfer to another ship so you can have a relationship, but then you're not spending as much time with them. So I understand the conundrum. I just feel really bad for Ed in this case, because if that's the only reason she's not doing this, if she does have feelings for him still, it's just a really shitty situation for both of them to be in. And even the new guy, even the teacher, because he's not getting her full attention necessarily. So.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there might be a secondary reason, because it did feel she'd already made up her mind fully. And do you really think that if you're not in a relationship with them, that he's not going to stop loving you? And if there was, in 1 year's time, Bortus or her, the same worry is going to be there either way. You being on the ship is that entire problem, not you being together on the ship. It doesn't affect it. If you were married or not, if you were divorced, you might actually send her and kill her. If you hated her, you might actively try to kill her by that, not necessarily consciously. But, you know what I mean? Being on the ship is the mistake, not being together on the ship. So, you know what I mean? It's and what if the same thing happened and he was hurt, she'd take command and then, kill her? It's she shouldn't be in secondary command. I don't know, it was a bit... She just seemed so closed off that it was either... We're forcing this. Well, definitely they're forcing it, but either we just want to make sure they keep not together for season 2, or there's some other level which we're going to know later on. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
so rating, Stuart.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as Orville goes, I'd give this one a strong 7.5. Just because that there are so many convoluted plot lines, and it's all just basically like watching an episode of Days of Our Lives.
Well, they're not convoluted individually, but when you layer 6 plots, they're very simple, just not.
So I mean, it had, like I said, it had great character development, some interesting. Like it was interesting to watch all of them do their thing, but as a whole cohesive piece, it just didn't work for me. So that's why it's a 7.5. It's not.
But
It's a good mediocre episode.
Yeah, but it was so nice seeing him back.
Yes.
And as if they never left. That was such a good feel. But this has been a good episode 6 or 7 or 5, not 1. That also didn't help. We had expectations for some cool opening scene and then go down to the sci-fi. I don't know about you, but it wasn't as funny as season 1. Even the less funny episodes of season 1, it was even more restrained. I was missing the humor a bit more because without the humor to give it extra spice, without the self-knowing dialogue, it was more flat because it was just go through the motions of the sci-fi, which in itself, obviously in this episode, was lacking. What do you think?
I think I would agree with you. They do pick up the humor a little bit in episode 2.
Yes.
But
which we'll talk about soon.
Yeah. But it was kind of lacking a little bit. I never really considered that, but you are right.
They might be balancing it slightly the other way. Not sure if it worked on this one. So for me, I want to give it a 6, but if we average out then, or 6.5, so average out to a 7 between us, I think it's fair. So fine, and one I would watch sometime in the middle of watching season 2, but I definitely want to watch episode 1.
Yeah, this is definitely one I wouldn't seek out if I got the DVD set. I wouldn't put this one in specifically to watch this one.
Yeah.
You know.
But the next one, maybe you would. So tune in, guys, for our next review, probably coming absurdly soon, because this one had to be filmed before we could do the second one. So we're going to film that right now. And thanks, guys. Subscribe to this channel for more Trekyards, Fleetyards, Orville, Discovery, and maybe other shows. If they release other shows, maybe the Orville spin-off called Trekyards, or Bortus the musical, the weekly musical show. That'd be great.
I can see them doing that. And in the meantime, if you want to help out the show, there's a Patreon link down below. Also, head over to trekyards.com, click the donate button. Lots of ways to support us. There's a Trekyards, Fleetyards store. Click that link. Click the links in the description below. There's lots of cool stuff, lots of cool ways to help out the channel. And of course, just share it around, hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
We will.
Until then, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Commander Cognus.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.